Today's topic is running tips for beginners. And so, like I said before, I'm not an expert, but I've learned a few things, and I wish I would have gone back and implemented these tips that I'm going to provide to you when I first started, because I would have avoided a lot of injuries, I would have avoided a lot of frustration, and I'd probably be a faster runner today if I would have started with these tips. Anyways, first thing is go to a running shoe store to get your shoes. When I first started, I actually got my first pair of running shoes from Big Five. I went to the back of the store where the shoes were, and it said running. So I grabbed a pair of Nikes. I said, these look good. And I used those anyways. I found out later that they weren't even made for my foot. I ended up getting stress fractures from them. It made my running experience so uncomfortable. And so I went to the doctor. He actually threw them in the trash. He said, to get rid of these and go buy some real running shoes. So what I did is I went to Road Runners in Santa Monica, got fitted, and it completely changed my running experience. It felt like I was like walking on clouds. That's how much cushion these running shoes have. And so if you've never worn running shoes before, you're in for a treat. Because now we're kind of used to them because I've been doing it for a while. But when you're new to it, you put on your first pair of running shoes, they're so soft, so comfortable, and it is a night and day difference than something you'd wear every day or something you'd buy like a Big Five or so what's nice about it is you go there and they actually fit you. They have you run on the treadmill. They look at your how your stepping is, your gait, and all that stuff. And sometimes if you pronate, do you overpronate, so what they do is they fit you with the right shoe that fits your step, because everybody's different and they have different levels, like thick cushion to midsole to all kinds of different things. But anyways, yeah, first tip is go to a running shoe store and get a pair of running shoes. Next, and this is something I wish I would have definitely done when I first started, because when I first started, I felt like going fast is the only way to go, and you have to beat everybody in front of you. And so I would say start slow. We had a friend of ours that like I said, we were at a birthday party this weekend, and he said how much he detests running. And as I thought back in that conversation, I realized I did not give him the best advice that I always give everybody, and that is to start slow. If you hate running, you're probably not doing it right, or that might be one of the reasons. And it just because start slow, because everybody thinks if you've got to run, you got to go full force, you got to go like 180 beats per minute heart rate, and you got to dang near kill yourself as a runner. But no, you don't have to do that. Start nice and slow at a conversational pace, like I'm talking now. You should be able to talk like this as you're running. If you find yourself breathing very hard and you can barely get 3 or 4 words out of your mouth, you're doing it wrong. So speed comes as you go, but you've got to start slow, and you start building up your endurance. And then the more you build up your endurance, eventually you'll add some speed work to it, and the slow and the speed will come together, and you'll get faster. But you have to start slow to get it done. Next, and this is another one. This is a big one. If you're going to be a runner, you got to have, like, I think this is good for all like fitness stuff. You've got to add something to the calendar. So if you say, you know what, I'm going to do a 5K. I'm going to go from couch to 5K. You've got to put a 5K on your calendar. Commit to it. Go find one in your community. They're not very expensive. They usually range from like 40, 50 bucks. You might find some like 75 at the high end. That's way high. So about $40, $50 is the minimum range for a 5K. So find one in your community. It doesn't matter if it's a big one or a small one, whatever. Just do it just so you can say you have it on your calendar and you have something to shoot for when it comes to your training. Because you don't want to just be training just to be training. You might as well have something on your calendar, so then you kind of have like a plan. And then what you do is you go online, you say couch to 5K training plans, and you'll find a dozen of them. There's so many of them. But yeah, so I would recommend if you're going to do a 5K, this is being filmed, this is June, but there is a Santa Monica Classic, which is coming up later this year. It is the first of the LA Marathon Series races. It's in Santa Monica, of course. They have a 5K and a 10K. So you would have, I believe that's in, let me double check here. When is that going to be? I don't know when it is. I'm not going to waste time to look for it, but I think it's in a few months. I think it's in like November or December or something like that. Maybe January. No, not that late. Anyways, it's a few months from now. Go to the McCourt Foundation, lamarathon.com, look it up, sign up for it, and yeah, get a 5K on your calendar. Get any race on your calendar so you have something to shoot for. Next is, and this is another big one. This is something I did not do because I was too nervous to even do it. Join a running club in your community. This is very, very important because you've got to build accountability. You start meeting people, you build accountability, you get to know from other people. So you're new at this. You have no idea what's going on. And what you do is you join these running club in your community just so you can first get some friends that are runners also, and they'll kind of urge you to keep coming back. Second is they'll teach you what they've learned through their experience. So then the faster you make, the less mistakes you make at the beginning, the better. Not to say we're not going to make mistakes, but it's going to happen. But you want to go to these running clubs just so you can learn the right way. And then you build community, people, they support you, and it makes you want to keep going back. So, but don't be nervous. A lot of people, they feel very nervous. They say, oh, I'm not going to go because people are too fast. Let me get a little drink real quick. Yeah, they say they get intimidated. And I guess I forgot about that. You do get intimidated because you think everybody's going to be faster than you. They're going to make fun of you. You're going to feel uncomfortable. But I've never experienced that in any running club I've been to. They've all been very supportive. The running community in a whole is a very supportive atmosphere. So join yourself a running club in your community. And speaking of that, LA Roadrunners, their registration just opened up. It opened up June 1st. And if you're in Los Angeles, or you don't even have to be in Los Angeles. You can be in surrounding areas. They have virtual plans for you. But they have 3 areas. They meet in Santa Monica. They're going to meet at Griffith Park. And they meet in, it's not Huntington Beach. It's Newport Beach. Yeah. So they meet Newport Beach, Santa Monica, and starting this year is going to be Griffith Park. So they're going to have 3 different areas you can go to meet them, and they have workouts on Saturdays, and they do Wednesday workouts in Santa Monica at the track. They combine with LA Running Club. But LA Roadrunners registration opens today, not today, but this month. So I would recommend joining them. I believe, I'm not quite sure how much it's going to be, so I'm not going to quote that right now. But if you join now, I'm sure it's going to be a lower price. The sooner you join, the lower the price it is, I believe. Don't quote me on that. That's usually, but anyways, a lot of running clubs, you don't have to pay, but the ones that you do, you get a lot of value out of, and so it's worth paying a few extra bucks to be part of that. Let's see who's in chat here. Let me get rid of this for a second. We got somebody. Oh, this is my friend, Lewis. Hello, Anthony. Just in from running. Nice. Good job, Lewis. Starting off the morning strong. I love that. So today, Lewis, we're talking about beginning running tips for runners. So if you have any tips, please share them, because I'm sure you have a lot of good tips you can share. Thank you for being here, Lewis. I appreciate it. Okay, next is, and there's another thing that builds accountability, and this also helps you meet people in the running community, and that is share your runs on social media. Let people know you're doing it. People cheer you on, they will congratulate you, they will give you kudos. So what I do, what my favorite social media platforms are, first, YouTube, of course. YouTube is my favorite one. But then Instagram, then you got Facebook, Strava. Those are the top 3. Of course, there's TikTok and stuff, but fit whatever meets your ability or whatever you want to share. But I started with Facebook, and then after my first marathon, I realized, oh my gosh, there's a big running community on Instagram. I did not know that. I was completely out of the loop. And so go to social media, go to Instagram, go to the little search tab and just hit in running. And you're going to find so many things. Or top, whatever area you're in, like I'm in Los Angeles running. you'll find so many people, and I've met so many friends just through social media, just from posting my workouts. And don't feel like you're bothering anybody. Just so a lot of people say, oh, I'm irritating people by sharing my runs. Well, you know what? If you're irritating them, then they're not your audience. Don't worry about them. Worry about the people that want to see your stuff. Because a lot of people do like seeing people working out. They want to see and they want to cheer them on, and it kind of inspires others to start. Let's see. And here we go. Lewis just had another good tip. First tip I would give is get outside, walk, jog, and then run. Start easy. Yep, that kind of goes along with my first tip I said, Lewis, was start slow. So that goes along with that. Like, see, and this guy's been running for a long time. And he's fast. So if he says that, that's good advice. Thank you, Lewis. All right, yeah, so like I was saying, share your stuff on social media. Instagram is my favorite one. You can find me at Running for My Best Life. It's there in the top left corner there. Or the right corner, wherever you're watching this. Yeah, follow me and I'll follow you back. Let's see. Next is, this is very important. This is another one that I've gone through all these things. I'm still kind of going through this stuff. And this is another one. Don't compare yourself to others. Again, I'm still working on that. I see a lot of people and I get a lot of FOMO. I see people going through races. I see how fast they are. Like my friend Lewis, he's super fast. And I get, is jealous the word? More envious, I guess. Because I want to be there myself. I want to be as fast. But I'm sure there's, like they always say, don't worry about who's in front of you. There's always people way behind you that's looking at you, hoping that they're in your position. So don't compare yourself to others because there's people that wish that they were in your position. So that's a big one. All right. Now this is the very last tip. And this I actually got from my friend Coach David, who is a head coach of the LA Roadrunners. And if you join the LA Roadrunners, you'll probably get to meet him. And he'd be able to provide you with some great advice. And that is, have fun. No matter what you do, try to have fun with it. So another thing, I was talking to my friend at the birthday party, and he said how much he hates running. And I was saying, you know, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. If you find running, if you go through all these tips that I provided you, like you go slow, you put the run on your calendar, you get the proper running shoes, you join the running community, you share on social media, and you find yourself still not having fun, then maybe it's not for you. And that's okay. Find something that is for you. Maybe you want to be a cyclist. Maybe you want to do weightlifting, swimming. There's so many other things you can do. As long as you're staying active, that's what matters. But find a thing, and I think that's the key to being active. Is you got to find something you love. If you wake up and you're dreading doing it, then it's probably not for you. So that's the last tip. Have fun. Let's see what our comment said. What does Lewis say? Not that fast, Anthony. People are going to think I'm elite. In my book, you're an elite. You're not only an elite as a runner, you're an elite as a person. And that's what matters. But what else do you say? Always have fun. If you're suffering, you're definitely going to get injured. Start slow to get fast. Yep. Good advice, Lewis. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for sharing that stuff. I get another drink here. But yeah, those are my tips. Those are the few things. I hope you can get some value out of that. If you're a new runner, I would leave a comment below. Let me know how your process is going and if any of these tips helped you. If you need any advice, feel free to ask. I will help. Like I said, I'm not a professional myself. I'm learning as I go, just like you are. But I would let you know how I can help. I'll respond back. I'm Anthony, reminding you to keep running for your best life.